We saw chaos, we saw fury, and we have seen controversy in the third ODI between India and Bangladesh women's ODI that happened at Mirpur. Harmanpreet Kaur was absolutely fuming at the result and the way how it ended, because the major flashpoint that she had said in that post-match presentation, as well as echoed by Smriti Mandhana in the press conference that happened after the end of the match, it highlighted one major issue, and that was the umpiring. Now, it is the umpiring that has come into the focus because of what happened in Mirpur today. Umpiring controversies in the Indian cricket team, when you have to look at it, the most infamous of them all was Sydney Gate, 2008. Sydney, the umpiring standards were such that India and Australia's relations deteriorated. Player relations were never the same after that. And if you look at the current Ashes series also, umpiring has been one of the major concerns. Here in Mirpur, tensions reached an absolute flashpoint. The Indian team were really furious after what happened, because the third ODI between India and Bangladesh ended in an absolute dramatic tie. So for the first time, Bangladesh shared an ODI trophy with India, 1-1. The T20I series was won by India 2-1. But even there, India faced an absolute, they got out of jail, because the second T20I, 95 for 9, India managed to defend it with Bangladesh losing by 9 runs. Then in the third T20I, Bangladesh won. So that's why in this entire tour, minus the head coach, India won the T20I series 2-1, but ODI series drawn 1-1. And many people were asking, why no super over? For two reasons. Number one, this wasn't a multi-nation tournament where you could have the super over. It was the Asia Cup, you could have had the super over. But since this was a bilateral series, it had to end in a tie. And remember, one more, but the major official reason given was that playing time was exceeded. You remember that during the course of the match, there was a 23-minute rain delay that actually ensured that time had to be exceeded. And since it was a 9 to 6 slot, no further extensions were given, and that is why you saw what happened. The playing time was exceeded, and that is why no further extensions were given. Now, what did Harmanpreet Kaur say after the match ended? She has absolutely blasted the umpiring, and you could see that she had a confrontation with the umpire. Tanveer Ahmed was there, and after that, what she has said, the kind of umpiring that was happening, we were very surprised. The next time we come to Bangladesh, we will make sure we have to deal with this type of umpiring and prepare ourselves accordingly. Wow, those are very strong words from Harmanpreet Kaur. They were very surprised with the umpiring, and if the umpiring decisions are expected to go 9 out of 10 against India, they will prepare accordingly. But what she said later, it really kind of highlighted her bravery, that she has said it very openly against an ICC umpire. So what happened? Some pathetic umpiring, she used that word pathetic, some pathetic umpiring was done. We are really disappointed about some decisions given by the umpires. She was really fuming at this point. And Smriti Mandhana jumped in afterwards in the post-match press conference. But what were the major flashpoints? In this, I'll highlight what were the major flashpoints that made India really furious. Yastika Bhatia. Now remember, when India were kind of in the starting point of that collapse that they had, Yastika Bhatia was given LBW to Sultana Khatun for 5. But Yastika Bhatia stared at the umpire, and she was really not happy with it. The next flashpoint was Harmanpreet Kaur. Harmanpreet Kaur looked to sweep Nahida Akhtar and she was trapped LBW for 14 of 21. But she also had a big showdown with the umpire, because she said it was bat first and then it was the pad. When that decision was not overturned, she smashed the stumps. And that is why maybe penalties are coming in for Harmanpreet Kaur in that sense. But what broke the camel's back, the straw that broke the camel's back, was Meghna Singh. When Meghna Singh was given out to when she edged it to Nigar Sultana and Marufa Akhtar took the last wicket, then tensions boiled over. Bangladesh were pleading and instantly the finger went up, and that is why there was chaos. The match ended in a tie. All the mistakes that Jemima Rodriguez made was pushed into the background, because remember, Jemima Rodriguez ran out Harleen Deol and Deepti Sharma, and also the farming of the strike was not done in the right manner by Jemima Rodriguez, and that's why all that mistakes was pushed to the background by the umpiring that was on show. 3 decisions: Yastika Bhatia, Harmanpreet Kaur and Meghna Singh. Meghna Singh had hit a boundary and then she got a single that she came on strike. After 2 balls, the match was tied, but then in the 3rd ball, she edged it. Apparently, there was no edge. The players were absolutely not happy. They were arguing, but at the end, the decision was made, could not be reversed. And yes, because of this series, blatantly, since it's an ICC championship, brace yourselves, folks, there was no DRS. That's why the decisions could not be overturned. Yes, this is part of an ICC ODI championship cycle. Yet in this series, there was no DRS. This series was not even broadcast officially. That is the level of seriousness that everybody, right from the ICC all the way till the BCB and the BCCI, are taking this. That is the level of seriousness. Then if you look at it, Smriti Mandhana jumped in. Smriti Mandhana said in the post-match press conference, we expect a little better level. It was very evident in some decisions. There was not even a second thought given if the ball hit the pad. Not even 1 second thought was given and the finger went up. That is what Smriti Mandhana said. She had a very restrained anger to it, unlike Harmanpreet Kaur, who was absolutely fuming. But she managed to ensure that the umpiring was given the spotlight. And it went as far as saying that neutral umpires should be appointed. That is the situation that is there. Neutral umpires. Remember, in the 90s, we had a lot of dodgy decisions when it came to men's cricket about the standard of Indian and Pakistan umpires. After that, neutral umpires came in. But on Harmanpreet, when she smashed the stumps after being given out, Smriti Mandhana justified it by saying, when you play for India, you want to win the match. It happens in the heat of the moment. I think she was not really happy with the decision given against her. She was given out and she felt that she was not out. You could see the fury that Harmanpreet Kaur was experiencing. But because there were no multiple camera angles and whatever we were viewing, it was just one-dimensional. At that point in time, you felt that, okay, it might have been dodgy, 50-50. Every decision was 50-50. But Bangladesh will not be complaining because they managed to tie the match and the series ended 1-1. Harmanpreet's anger might be justified, but bigger questions have to be asked from the ICC, BCB and also from the BCCI. Why couldn't 3 entities come together and ensure that this series was even telecast live officially? Why couldn't that have happened? Number 1. Number 2, why no DRS when you know that this is part of an ICC ODI championship? Why no DRS? 2 basic things. And if these kind of situations happen when it is part of an ICC ODI championship for women's cricket, then it is clearly evident that the ICC, BCB and the BCCI are not serious about women's cricket. That is the sad situation at this point in time. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and don't forget we are on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Thank you.